and good morning. Well, morning for you, afternoon for me. So, Monday the 20th of October to Friday the 24th of October. Debrief. Let's do it. Right, so we've had bit of it wasn't too bad a week, but got a bit stressful on the Friday, but we'll get into that. Done a lot of filming this week as well. Managed to film 3 videos worth of footage, so yeah, that carries us about halfway through December into videos, so we got a nice little buffer now, because I got a week off at the end of November, and if I start doing Royal Mail stuff, obviously I can't film that for 6 weeks solid, because that'll be, well, depends when I start doing it, if I start doing it, so yeah. And then I was going to have Monday off this next week, but, well, tomorrow off, technically, after this is filmed and released. But couldn't get done what I needed to get done on my car for the MOT, so I've asked my boss if I can work again on Monday, so, is what it is. Car's still MOT till December, I just need something done on it, and I didn't have the ability to do it today, because, corroded bolts and washers and stuff, but we'll get into that. Let's get on with the debrief. So we started on Monday, the 20th of October, at 6 AM. So we run from the yard with the step frame trailer that was already attached to us, up to a farm near Ludlow. Yes, we're a little way up, to unload 2 packs of steel, a piling rig, and a buggy. Yes. So that all went there, had to have some solar site put and stuff in the ground. Once that was all off, I then run to Redditch to load 26 pallets. Then run them south. Met Jason 2 at Taunton Dean northbound to swap trailers. Once we swap trailers, I then run to Clevedon to park up for the night. Finished at 6:15 PM. So we done 12 hours 15 minutes. We drove 8 hours 46 minutes, and we done 359 miles. Fair old run. Tuesday. Quite straightforward. Start at 4 AM. Run from Clevedon to Wednesbury. Once we was unloaded, we went to Chirk to load up packs of OSB. Once that was on, run back to the yard, drop the trailer, finished. That was it. Went home for the night. Lovely. Finished at 6 PM. So we worked 14 hours. We drove 9 hours and 5 minutes, and we done 385 miles. Beautiful. 6 AM start on Wednesday. We run from the yard to go across to go collect trailer 31, which is a curtain cider. We run to Ebbw Vale with that to unload 6 packs of MDF, and then we went to Shrewsbury to unload a further 2 packs of MDF products. Once we were empty, we then run to Shropshire Galvanising in Oswestry to load a whole load of steel. Once that was on, we run to Tewkesbury and parked up for the night. So we finished at 7 PM, worked 13 hours, drove 8 hours 47 minutes, and we done 345 miles. Thursday, we started at 8 AM. Yes, quite a late start, because we was only an hour away from the solar site, and they won't let us in until 9. So 8 AM start, run from Tewkesbury to Brackley solar site to unload. Once that was off, we then run to a farm near Taunton to go collect 12 pallets for spuds. Run that back to the yard. Then we jumped in the van because we had to go rescue our driver Andy, who was running out of driving time. So we met him at Corfmullen. He filled the truck up. He jumped in the van. I jumped in the truck. Then run down to Poole to go drop the trailer that was on his truck, and then bobtailed his truck back to the yard. And then when I got back, everyone that was there helped Dom unload some steel work off his trailer, which is a step frame. He then backed the step frame up. I hitched up to it, ready for Friday. Yeah. So once we got the steel work off, the step frame still had a tractor on the neck of it. I hitched up to the step frame, drove it home, parked up for the night. So we finished at 8 PM. So we worked 12 hours. We drove 5 hours 45 minutes, and we done 206 miles. And then Friday, what a day! So we had the tractor on the front of the step frame. So I run from my house at 6:45 a.m. to Yeovil to load up a small telehandler. So we chucked that on the back. Then from there we went to Winkley Airfield to drop the telehandler off. Then from there we run up to Dolverton, I think it's called, near Dolverton. It's in the middle of nowhere in Devon. Bit of a pain to get to. We had a right mare trying to get there, but that's all in the video. Load of steel work for a shed. It was all bits and pieces horrible, so I had to strap everything up really well. Once that was all on, we went to a homestead sort of farm out near Sidcutt, which is sort of just down from Bristol Airport, to drop off that shed and the tractor that I had on all day. So the tractor went for a hell of a ride. And then at that point, I had an hour and 31 minutes back to the yard, and I had an hour and 33 minutes of working time left. So we had a mad rush back to the yard. Got held up by a tractor, which didn't help. I know tractors need to do what they need to do, but it's quite frustrating when you run out of driving time. Got met with roadworks and slow cars and this, that, and the other, but we got back. We got back to the yard with 3 minutes left on our working time for the day. So we finished at 7:45. So we done a full 13-hour shift. We drove 8 hours 37 minutes, and we done 405 miles. We done very, very well yesterday to get back by the skin of our teeth, literally. Yeah, there was a road shut in Chard, which didn't show up until I was near enough there. I was like, oh, I don't have time to go anywhere else. So I literally slipped off one of the roads and went through housing estates and stuff, and ended up through the top end of town, and then cut through, just about squeezed through. Annoyed a few people, I think, but I don't care. Yeah, managed to make it back to the yard. So right, for our weekly totals, so we put in 656.09 litres of fuel, and I did come back with no fuel, very little fuel yesterday. Like, I have quarter of a tank left. Because I didn't have time to stop and fill it up, because I wouldn't have got back. We done 1,700 miles on the button, and we done 64 hours and 15 minutes. So most of the week weren't too bad, and then Friday was hair on fire. Yeah. And then today I've tried to fix my car, and then found out the bolt with the concentric washers on the lower lateral link arm is corroded to the inside of the bush on the arm, so I cannot get it out without cutting the bolt off, and I don't have another bolt, and it's a specialist bolt with slots in it for the concentric washers, because it allows you to adjust the toe of the camber of the wheel, or the toe, depending on how you look at it. So I've had to order one of them and wait, so it means I'm missing out on a free retest of an MOT, which is annoying. But anyway, that was my week. So let's get on to viewers' questions. We're going to rush through this pretty quick, because I've got 2 more videos to sort of edit. So if you want to ask a question for next week, ask away in the comments below, and I'll answer them for you in next week's debrief video. I'll see if I can get Elaine on one week, and then I'll get you to ask her questions, but don't ask her questions this week, because I don't think I'll be able to get her on next week, because we're quite busy. Right, so it's your way of getting a shout out as well. Question number 1 from Dave B. Chang. It says, do you carry anything in the way of spares? I don't refer to idle items, but smaller, i.e. lamps, fuses, etc. And is there any requirement? No, there's no requirement to carry anything like that. I think the only requirements is like a first aid kit and like a extinguisher. But we do have fuses. I've got fuses in my truck. I've got spare bulbs in case I need to change anything like that. Yeah, so we do carry stuff, but no, you're not legally required to. Question number 2 from Paul Watts. He says, what is the most interesting load to strap down? Usually when anything comes to interesting loads, it's usually machinery, whether that be moving plant, like machines, or whether it's like lathes and stuff and woodwork and stuff. Anything to do with machines is always rather interesting and challenging to sort of get strapped down and held down. So That pretty much covers for what's the most interesting load and what's the most interesting thing to strap and blah. So yeah, that covers all grounds with that machinery. Question number 3 from James Williamson. What is your favourite services on the M5 or M6? They're all a little bit rubbish, to be fair. Probably T-Bay or Gloucester. They're both nice, though rather expensive. I like Michaelswood because it's nice and easy to get in and out of. It's like a straight through drive, and the one thing I like about Michaelswood is you ain't got to hand your fuel card in before you fill up, so you're not wasting time walking there, giving them the card, walking back out, filling out, walking back in to go pay, and then walking back out and going. You can just pull up, fill up, go in and pay. It's a lot easier. Exeter could do with having their showers redone because they're horrible. You know, all of them have their good and bad points. There's a lot of services to sort of warrant. I can't remember them all. So I can't remember. I'm gonna go with T-Bay or Gloucester. They're both the nicer ones out of them. Generally, the facilities are a lot nicer. We'll just go with them. Wayne Hamilton asks, "How did you twist your ankle?" Well, when I was in Accrington, I had to have a wander over to the Tesco's there to go draw a bit of money out from the cash point that was there. And as you walk through the car park, there's a little small drain, you know, one of the little water tap drains on the floor, and it's sunken down about that far. And I didn't notice it, and my heel went down in it, and my ankle just went like that. And I just went down like a sack of spuds. So, but it's alright at the moment now. Just got to be careful with it because it will twist quite easily now. Because when you twist your ankle, it takes months for it to recover, and you lose a bit of stability in your ankle. So it's a lot easier to twist. It's not the first time I've twisted my right ankle. I've done it several times. Right, question number 5 from Matt DVC. He says, if you had to night out in a lay-by in Cambridgeshire, only options are A1, A14, or go over and carry on driving. On a serious note, is it really that bad as people say? Yes, it can be. I've never actually stopped on the A14, to be fair. Anywhere in that sort of area can be quite risky. It is bandit country, as they say. I've stopped on the A1 a few times. I've probably had my curtain cut twice. Not had my fuel touched on the A1. And then there's been 2 or 3 times I've parked there and been fine. So it's luck of the draw. The A421 I would definitely avoid. I've parked there 4 times in the past. Like, this is when I was quite new to it. And out of them 4 times, I've had 3 things happen. One of them was a curtain cut, one of them was lights nicked off the truck, and another one was fuel being nicked. So, do not park on the 421. The A1, it is risky. The A14, never park there, so I don't really have a choice, but I've heard it can be just as bad. Personally, if I'm in them areas, I would probably try and go a little bit further on if I can, if I have to go over my hours to park on an industrial estate somewhere out the way. Yeah. But if I had to, just park on the A1 or A14, it is what it is. If you have to stop, you have to stop. Just try and secure stuff or open your doors or whatever if you can. Fuel theft's probably the more of a pain in the ass thing that happens, but sometimes it can't be helped. But yeah, it can be bad. Question number 6 from Alan Junction 22M5. Does your boss pay you for your required breaks? So you obviously mean my 15-minute, 30-minute, 45-minute breaks that I need to clear my working time or driving time. Yeah, he pays me for my breaks, which is very nice. So yeah, all good. He pays me from when I start shift to when I finish shift. And question number 7 from Ships and Vehicles. How do you watch Disney films in your truck? Do you have Wi-Fi or something? I have one of these devices called a mobile phone. And on this mobile phone, it has a feature, like most of them do, which is mobile hotspot. So I turn on a mobile hotspot and I connect my laptop or whatever to my phone and watch whatever. I also do have a wireless router, which is a little USB thing that plugs in that has a SIM card in it as well. So I have that because sometimes that has better signal on my phone and vice versa. Or sometimes if I'm going out in my truck and I'm trying to upload a video, I'll have that on so my laptop can stay connected while I'm out wandering around with my phone. So yeah, it's just a hotspot on your phone or a little wireless Wi-Fi router. So the truck doesn't have Wi-Fi itself, so that's what it is. But yeah, that's how you do it. Nice and easy. There we go. That's all viewers' questions for this week. So again, if you have anything you want to ask me for next week, ask away. Leave it in the comments of this video, otherwise I may miss it. And I'll answer your questions next week. Next thing. Car of the week. This week, I didn't see a lot until like Thursday, I think. And I saw a Reliant Scimitar. Did look a little rough around the edges, a couple of different colour panels, but it was still going, which was very nice to see. Princess Anne had one of them, you know. I think she had 8 of them. You can't see a Reliant Scimitar without mentioning someone that Princess Anne had them. So, yeah, that's what we had. I remember someone sort of on one of my postal routes used to have one. Never saw it move. I think he was restoring it or gonna restore it, or whether it's just sat there rotten, I don't know, but I never saw it move. Yeah. So that's that. A Reliant Scimitar. Mayhem on the roads. Next thing. Not a lot this week, really. Couple of frustrating times when people wouldn't let me pull out, but then that's not really. They don't have to. It's just frustrating when you just get a big queue of traffic and people just wait. And you just sat there for 5 minutes and you're like, will someone please just let me out? But like I said, they're not obliged to, so you just got to sit there and wait for a space, which I did, and then someone pulled up and beat behind me. I'm like, well, you had plenty of time to react to it. So, but other than that, nothing major this week. Didn't have anything silly. Sam K got caught up on the M1 a couple of times of it being closed, and this, that, and the other, and some other people got caught up. I think Ashley got caught up in something on the M3 the other day, but for me, nah, I didn't really have any issues this week. So we will now get on to the last little segment, which is comment of the week. So obviously, when you leave comments on my videos, I read every comment that gets given to me, and I'll always give a little thumb up and a heart thing for once I've read someone's message. And this one came up from Andrew Billingham, and it's just something I want to address. So he says, another great video. I've been thinking about doing my class 1, but I've been told companies only want previous experienced drivers. Is this true? I'm a bus driver at the moment. Yes and no. There are companies that will take on new passers. There are companies that won't. Experience has got absolutely nothing to do with it. It is literally the insurance. So the insurance companies will tell a company, we will not insure you on people that have had less than 2 years experience. This doesn't mean you've had to have driven in 2 years, it just means you've had to have held your license for 2 years. It's rubbish. It's like when I went to go rent a 7.5 tonner to help my sister move house many years ago. I'd only just passed my class 2. I think I was only about a year into my class 2 driving, so I've driven a class 2 for a year, an 18-ton vehicle. But I couldn't rent a 7.5-ton vehicle because their insurance wouldn't let me because I haven't held my license for 2 years. But my mum, who got her 7.5-ton on Grandad's rights, who has never driven a 7.5-ton vehicle, could go in and rent it just like that, just because she's held that license for more than 2 years. It's rubbish. She's got 0 experience and she could have rented it. I had experience with larger vehicles, but I couldn't rent it. Daft. It's literally all it is. It's just insurance. There are some companies that will favour experience. So if you go to a company and there's 3 people that apply for the job and they only have 1 position, they will probably take someone that has a bit more experience to someone that hasn't, because it just requires less training than you think. But some companies will take on new drivers. Some of the larger companies will take on new drivers. Lenham Storage, for example, where I used to work, they took me on as a new pass. It did help that my dad worked there as a referee for me as well, so that did help. But yeah, it's just purely insurance. So go ahead and take your license and just apply everywhere. Someone will take you. Kane's Farm, where I work, they take on new drivers. Sometimes it depends how cheap the company is, whether they want to pay the little bit extra to have new drivers or not. So yeah, just go and try. There will be someone that will take you on. As you've got previous experience as a bus driver as well, that will put, that will be in your favour as well. So yeah, just try. All someone can say is no. But then you just keep trying and trying, and someone will take you on. So yeah, it's literally I've said it before. It's just insurance reasons, which is a load of rubbish. But there we go. That's that done. So that's it. That's our debrief done. I've got a bit of time to myself tomorrow, so I was thinking about maybe doing a live stream tomorrow, some point after the debrief comes out. I might do a bit of American Truck Sim, considering my racing sim is now up and running and all peachy, running well. So I might do that. I might not. It depends if I can get it all set up in time. Because obviously I've got a triple screen set up there, but obviously when you stream, everyone only has one screen, so it's trying to work everything out and get everything where you need it. So I might have a bit of a fiddle around with it today, and then if I can, I might do a bit of a live stream tomorrow. So don't take that as gospel. I might not yet. I might have something else to do, but we'll see what happens. So watch Monday's video. It's me doing stuff in the truck again. You know the score. Like I said, I'm always unprepared when doing this. We'll have a quick look. We'll see what we're doing on Monday's video. Like I said, I've got 2 other videos to edit today as well. So I'll try and get them done. And then that should put me right up to about in the middle of December with videos, which is good. Because we'd like to try and get a bit of a headway before Christmas. Because then, well, I've got videos coming out and then you don't miss out. And then I can have a bit of time off in January to have a bit of rest from doing the social media thing. It does get a bit tedious at times. Right, Monday's video. I have a fridge trailer on, so check that out. So yeah. Right, that's it. That's all I've got time. I can't bother to talk to you anymore, so see you next week.